Hi, my name is Cody Efaw. I'm the CEO of Niece Motorsports. I got involved with racing because of my father. It was a whirlwind 10 years ago. And I really did not ever want to work in NASCAR again.
Cody Efaw's like a brother.
Walking in the holler with Al and meeting some of the members that I know now that I regard as very close family. Then I was probably a snob and didn't really have time or day for him. And was like, I remember getting a Niece hat and like, this sounds crappy, but like I want to put that on. It's just gonna last. It's gonna work. I remember Amanda, my wife, and I talking about, she's like, I don't think you should do this deal. I wanted to see it through. The fears was not on the track. I believed we were gonna get there. The fears was, I never ran a business before. So looking back at 2019 and the inside scoop of what made 2019 work and what was really going on behind the scenes, it wasn't a dumpster fire, but man, it was it was close to it. It just showed we were the poor old boys trying to make it happen in NASCAR. It's a track that I really honestly met Ross at. We had the world taken from us, we felt like. We proved the press the attack. No matter what we got in front of us, we're gonna go through it, we're gonna figure it out, and we're gonna make it happen. And that was our year right there. To the bottom, to the top. That was 2019. So in regards to Al Niece and Niece Motorsports using Press the Attack, that's on our building, inside the building. It's on our dashes when we race. You hear Ross Chastain talk about it a lot. That comes from Al Niece. That comes from the way he signs his emails. He picked up that term from the military when he started in Vietnam, from his colonel. And what it meant in the beginning was like, hey, it's us against the world mentality, right? And no matter what, press the attack, push forward, push on, whatever the day brings you, push through it. And I think it still holds, served to where we're at now. We still are pushing through. We're still, a smaller team in the truck series. I feel like it's not a David Goliath story by any means anymore like it was, but we're still defying, what the industry standard is, in my opinion. So it's still push through whatever you're facing and attack it with everything you got. And you may win, you may lose, but as long as you leave it on the table, you win. So working with Ross Chastain, I don't want to say it reignited a flame for the love I have for racing. It obviously didn't put it out by no means. By the third year really of our company, from when I was, said I was done with racing or NASCAR, I'd already caught the bug again, right? Like, it's what makes me tick is racing. I had a blast working with TJ. I had a blast working with Austin Wayne Self and Justin Fontaine, and then obviously Ross. But I think the flame was burning strong prior to Ross. Ross made it fun because winning is fun, right? You felt like you could go to the racetrack and you're going to win that race. And I haven't felt that feeling, prior to Ross since, I don't know, maybe working with Carl Edwards, right? Working with, Matt Kenseth a couple times. You felt like you could always win. You had a shot to win. And Ross probably ignited that confidence that, man, we can do anything with this guy. In regards to our demeanor, our attitude, or perception from others, calling us, outsiders. I think that comes from the thought that neither of us came in this sport on a name, right, or a large sponsor. Running this company, like, I could say it all the time, I was just a dumb mechanic that come from Roush Racing at the time. And I came into it as, I'm crew chiefing now, I'm running a company. Like, other people that are in the industry or in the truck garage, they didn't know who I was because I was in the Cup and Xfinity garage. At one point I had been in the truck garage, but it was 2005, 6, 7, 8. So we just weren't household names by any stretch of the imagination, right? A lot of the truck crew chiefs at the time were former Cup crew chiefs or Xfinity crew chiefs or had been in the sport 20 years, 30 years. There wasn't really anyone young doing it. We started a team that, who are they, right? Like, no one took us serious. So I think that's probably where it comes from, that we just view ourselves as not in the clique, in the NASCAR tight-knit family. I still don't do a lot of networking in the garage. Maybe that's wrong. I've questioned that internally for myself. But my attitude is, I have 4 walls, and I can't even control what's inside these 4 walls. How do I get outside them 4 walls and try and control that? And I'm not saying I have to control it, but like, I got enough good problems, bad problems to worry about, that my focus is here. So I don't worry about the outside.
You tell Cody all the time that you're proud of him. Just talk about Cody, like what does he mean to you, to this place, just in general?
Cody is I don't even want to say a diamond in the rough. He's a diamond. He's forward thinking. He's well respected in the industry. I'm lucky that somebody hasn't come hiring him away. But I think Cody and I are living the vision or the dream we wanted. And his vision was a little more thorough than mine, but we sure do complement one another.
Going through COVID together, I hate COVID. I hate the whole thought of what we did and shut down and all that. But going through it with him made it easy. It wasn't because there's a revenue source, I'm fine. It was, hey, I've been through a lot. I'm long in the tooth, which is a noun saying. A lot of people use it. He says it a lot. We'll be fine. We'll get through it, right? Like, just keep working, doing what we're doing, and it is what it is.
So to tell you the truth, my favorite memory with Cody Efaw was not around the racetrack. It was actually a trip during 2020 out to Texas to take a water tank that they had built at the shop during COVID, and we took it out to Niece Equipment in Austin to deliver for them to install on a big truck for a job. And Cody drove the first leg with Phil Gould in the front passenger seat, Tim Mooney in the right rear seat, and I was in the left rear. I just want to say that Phil and Tim never moved. Me and Cody are the only 2 that swapped seats, and I drove half the trip and he drove the other half. But we spent a couple of days out at Owl's, drank a lot of beer. It was Busch Light, and my gosh, we had a good time. I slept in a beanbag. That tells you how much fun we had. I definitely curled up in a beanbag and slept with a small blanket that wasn't big enough. Yeah. It was wild because we were so sick of being at home, and we had legitimate business and a reason to travel. So 5 of us showed up for the trip when we realized we're not riding 5 deep. I can't describe the look as Tim and I were getting settled in the back, and we all brought snacks, and we had a little cooler there with drinks in it. Me and Tim were like, oh, we're all right. And we're like, get on 77, and we're like, what's going on? I'm like, Tim. He's like, buddy, what? Cody, what's going on? What's wrong with this truck? It was so rough. We were getting air in the seats. I had the seatbelt locked, trying to hold me down. Eventually sat on my pillow to soften the blows from the bottom. That's awesome. Yeah. That's why I wanted the driver's seat. It was so much better than the front seat. Cody wouldn't let me drive. He wanted to drive the whole way, and I'm like, so he stopped. We stopped to get diesel, and he went to the bathroom, and I just ran over, peed beside the building, and jumped in the driver's seat before he could get back and locked the door. I was like, I'm driving, and I drove the rest of the way. Tim and Bill slept. They were well rested when we got there. Cody fell asleep too, I should add. We were barely on the interstate, and I heard Cody snoring. We thought it was the tank's fault. We thought the weight was wrong. So when we unloaded it, we thought, all right, it's gonna be smooth going home. I think it was worse. So winning at Charlotte 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, jeez, time flies. It was special. It was hard too. We worked hard on a brand new truck. We took to the wind tunnel the Monday before the race. I remember coming in late Sunday night to get it ready for the wind tunnel. I remember going home for a couple hours, getting some sleep, come back in at 4 or 5 in the morning, finishing the prep, delivering it to the tunnel. Go in the tunnel, decent truck, good truck. Come back, get it ready for the race. All right, we're gonna run Charlotte with Ross, obviously. Unloaded in practice, we were decent, nothing crazy.
I know how good Ross is at Charlotte. He does a very good job there. Carson was fast, made a couple adjustments, got better, but still felt like, yeah, we'll be all right. But that day we qualified, and we qualified, I believe, maybe 4th and 5th or 5th and 6th with Carson and Ross. And we ran the same exact lap time and qualified. And at that moment, I'm like, all right, our company made it. We got 2 trucks that can run good. Because it's always been, oh, we only have 1 truck that runs good. We only have 1 truck that runs good. It's Phil's truck. And Phil drives our setups and competition side with vehicle dynamics. You know, it was his setup. But we produced a product consistently, and they went to the track with 2 really talented drivers, and they qualified up front. We ran up front that whole night. And by all rights, Ross shouldn't have won that race. Carson should have won that race. And this is where it gets hard. He wrecked with, I believe, Ryan Priest. We moved up, we restarted. Ross hit his shifts, and going down the backstretch, Granny Turner gives us a shove into 3. We win the race. And I remember I was standing next to Rob Rose, who was the president of Worldwide Express, who without Rob Rose that year, we wouldn't have been running Ross. We wouldn't have been running Carson to the ability that we could run him because of finances. I remember looking at the sky like, it happened. We finally got a win as a crew chief. And I looked at him, and you know, Rob was a hugger, big, huge hug. We're on this older pit box. Then I didn't have time in scoring for the race. We just made it happen. And getting off that box, I did an MRN interview, and I don't remember the interview at all, because all that was going through my head was Carson Hostbar and Phil Gould. Like, I wanted to get down there and I want to tell Carson, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I felt horrible because he should have won the race. We were in second all night. We were the second best truck in my opinion, but they should have won it. And it killed me, because here I am, Jekyll and Hyde. I want to be excited and happy. I just accomplished the 5th goal of before I moved down here, I made 5 goals, and that was the last one. So I was like, I just did it. Like, it happened. And then, my Carson, who I love, Phil, who I love, they just suffered defeat. So I walked down pit road. First one to get to Carson, give him a hug. I'm sorry. He's bummed out, mad at the world. Phil won't even talk to me. I didn't even go to Victory Lane at the time. I went down the garage to check on Phil because he was down there, trucks wrecked up. And he was mad. I mean, he's angry. He's pissed off. And he should be, because he's a competitor. That's part of why I love Phil Gould. That's why we have success here. So then walk back into Victory Lane, like they're already done celebrating, like hat dance, woo. You know, I walked in there and Ross is smiling ear to ear, happy, gives me a big hug, you know, you did it. And it sunk in at that point, right?
We've won together as him being my crew chief, which was a really cool moment. And talking to Amanda after that win at Charlotte, it was big for us to do that. Him to call the race, him to walk the truck through the build process as he wanted it. It was his truck to build. It's a nice build, but he was responsible for it. So he kind of took his team manager hat off leading up to that Charlotte race and called the shots and built that truck. So to win with him on the box was a really cool, like, exclamation mark on our relationship, and just solidified us.
But still in the back of my mind, like, I want to do it again, because I don't feel like I captured the moment, right? Like, I don't feel like we won that. Like, we won it, but it wasn't everything it should have been. That might be me being selfish, but it sucked, because even that next 2 weeks in the shop, we had a win luncheon. Phil didn't even come to it, and Phil was mad, and we didn't talk much. And I ain't putting Phil down. I love him. We're over it. We laugh about it now. I mean, it was so headbutting that, you know, when we won a race, we have a TV screen up by the cool down. Whoever won a race, that picture got put on that screen until someone else won a race again, and it got changed. No one changed it to that one. My wife walked in the shop and changed it to that one. And I was like, oh, don't do that. It's going to start World War III. Because still, even that moment, I was more worried about the betterment of the company than saying, hey, I got to win a race as a crew chief. And that's really where I've always put this place, is above me. It is above me. I'd have no chance of winning a race as a crew chief without the people that build the chassis, hang the bodies, the suspension, the great drivers like Ross, Phil's setup and knowledge. Like, you know, I'm not dumb, but still, like, it takes all that. So it was hard. I'm thankful for it, but I hope someday that I'm able to sit on a box again and pray to God that I can do it again and feel that raw emotion and run with it. There's a video of me watching Ross win last year at Darlington, and I had full raw emotion because I love Ross, I love Niece, I love Phil. We won. That's why we do this. So I want to feel that for myself as a crew chief. So comparing 2023 to 2019 and the successes that we had in both those years, those are our standout years. There were some parallels, but the company had grown in many ways. In 2019, we weren't building our own chassis at the time. 2023, we were building our own chassis. We weren't part of a wind tunnel program in 2019, where we were part of a wind tunnel program in 2023. We also had Carson Hocebar in his third season, where Ross, we only had one season with him, right? So we had a lot of tendencies that we knew Carson could do. Phil and him worked together. I worked with Carson. There's a lot more unity in that group because we had done it more than we'd done it with Ross. I think financially, with Worldwide Express being a partner, they're a great partner. We were able to fund the program appropriately. I wasn't stressing about paying the bills. I could focus on being back in the chassis shop or body hanging and helping build and craft the best truck that we could possibly build. Phil and the guys had no doubt in the team of what we could accomplish together. They had a lot of faith in Carson because of what he was able to do in prior years. I could be mistaken here, but I believe the year prior to that, he was leading on the white flag lap in 4 out of 4 or 5 races and just didn't get the W. So I think we had a lot of momentum. We had a lot of confidence that we were going to go into that season and be able to run for a championship.
Best advice you got from Cody?
Best advice I got from Cody, probably just go race. Just go race. You know, me and him and Phil especially, right? Like, I think all 3 of us just had the ideas of, you know, just kind of having it us versus the world. Let's just go our way and do our thing and focus in on us. And I think we'd be at a good spot. And I feel like that's translated to, you know, every aspect of racing and life and everything for me.
And that was the mindset from the beginning, was championship or bust. So winning early in the season helped a lot. We won early in 2019, which helped, but we weren't locked in the playoffs because we still had to declare with Ross. We still had to change that over, and then we still had to go win again to be in the top 20 in points or get locked in again. So 23 was probably an easier year because we were just a better company. We were more suited. We were in a position that, you know, we could go and be real title contenders. So that was probably the biggest difference with 23 compared to 2019.
How would I describe Cody Efaw? You know, he just wants the best in people, right? Like, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, right? He does. You know, he lives and breathes racing. Obviously, he loves his kids and family, but on the racing side, you know, he's got a lot of kids in here, and I think he does a really good job trying to manage the whole situation. It can be very difficult, and I think he's never steered me the wrong way, even though at times I thought he was, and me and him would disagree. You know, he was like a father figure to me for sure.
We all have our family, you know, our chemistry, the camaraderie, things that I mentioned. Every team has that. You know, this group has been together now for almost 10 years. There's been some main staples that haven't changed, you know, and that chemistry you can build on year after year after year and make you stronger. If there's something that makes us different, is I do think we do more with less, right? I'm not saying that every other team has more budget or funds than us, but I know they have more employees than us. I think they maybe have more revenue coming in than we do. But everyone that's in here, they're probably at Niece for a reason. They don't fit maybe a Cup mentality or an Xfinity mentality. Those environments are probably too stuffy for them. I'm including myself, right? If my kids were starving, I would go work at a Cup shop again, but that's not who I am. This short track racing or more Friday night, Saturday night racing mentality that Truck Series is more fitting for the people that are here. It's probably scrappier, I think. I don't think we're all buttoned up everywhere like maybe some others are from the outside looking in. But I think we are tenacious and we're fighters and we do more with less. In regard to this job being the 9-to-5 banker job, it is not, as we all know. Many people in this industry that want to be good and compete at a high level and succeed, they don't work 7 to 4. 7 to 4 is a phrase I use all the time at Niece Motorsports. 7 to 4, not a minute more. And I say that because I have felt the drain personally of taking my work home with me. And I've felt it on Sundays. And my wife says it to me a lot, like, I'm here, but my brain's not here, right? My mind's not here because I'm thinking about Niece Motorsports. I don't know if it'd be different if I worked anywhere else. I think it's kind of the cloth that I'm cut from, how I operate. Like, this is my life, this is my passion, this is what I've always really wanted to do, is be around racing. To be a winner, it takes more than the 7 to 4. And I think a lot of people here at Niece Motorsports want to put that effort in, and I probably stifle that or hold them back from that because I want them to go home and have a happy life. And I think if you're happy at your work life and you're not working late, you're not working extra, you can be happy at home. And if you're happy at home, you'll be happy at work. And it's a cycle that I don't want to break because I want to be able to pump out the best product. And I think the best product takes proper planning and good employees. And I think the employee is the number one reason why. If you have a good chassis, you have a good body, you have a good setup, it takes all that. So it's hard to, I live that life, but I don't want to enforce that life into my employees.
He never stops working, and he's working for one goal, and that's for everybody in this building to have a job. He's a racer at heart. He loves winning more than just about anybody. But I think his biggest thing is, or his best attribute, is the amount of care he has in his heart for the people in his building.
What I've learned from Cody is just be yourself, really. Just like he really embraced me for who I was and who I am. And when there was outside people wanting to dictate or translate or want to feel like we could win or we could do something different or I could act a different way, he reminded me that it's okay to be myself too.
What I'm most proud of when I walk out through the shop and look around is probably the family that we have here. They're workers, they're employees. We work together, but I'm just proud of all of us working together and building something out of nothing, taking metal out of a rack and building a Niece chassis, working on the bodies over the years and relying on ourselves to come up with it and then develop it. I'm not reaching outside the company to gain more knowledge, right? Like, we have put it on ourselves. So that sense of camaraderie, the familyness of it, that's what I'm most proud of, is that we're able to employ almost 60 employees and put food on their tables. That holds more weight to me than the trophies that are in this room. I'd like to say thank you to every employee, partner, driver. Thank you for everything. And in the words of Niece, we're going to keep pressing the attack.